Welcome back to the Mind Goals podcast, hosted by yours truly, Siobhan Higgins, sport and performance psychology consultant, professional soccer player, and yoga instructor. Today, I'm really excited to introduce our special guest who I teach yoga at his gym, Mr. Bobby Benton.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome. I'm so excited. So your gym, Main Street Boxing and Muay Thai. Basically, I'm going to start by telling everyone how I know you. And I think it's been like a couple years.
Yeah,
right?
It's been a minute.
We were talking about this. I was playing for the Albion. No, yeah,
Royals.
I was. Yeah, the Royals at one summer training and for soccer, for people that don't know. And one session, I think it was like raining and we went to go do a boxing class, which I had never done before. And shit was hard as hell. Yeah. And I just loved it. And I connected with you and with Chris and we linked on Instagram and just kind of stayed in touch. And I ended up training with you guys a couple times before I went to go play pro in Portugal. And that was just really cool for me. I think that was like 2021 then.
I'm not good with dates, but it's been a minute. So
it's been a few years. But for everyone to know, that's how I know Bobby. And he's just been really, really, really nice and generous. And now I teach yoga at his gym every Sunday, 9 a.m. if anyone wants to join. Just more of like a recovery, restorative class because they go hard all week. And so they want to chill out and relax.
Yep.
But I want to learn more about you because, again, don't know that much. But let's start by telling everyone where you're from and how you got into, I don't even know if you are a fighter or like were a fighter, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
So I would like you to tell me all the things, but where are you from, Mr. Bobby?
Born in Indiana.
Okay.
But raised in Houston. So I've been here my whole life since I was 8 years old.
Okay.
And my dad started boxing gym 1986. And he was training and managing fighters before that, since I was born.
Cool.
So that's kind of how I got into boxing. He opened the gym. I just kind of grew up in the gym.
Wow.
And that's where I've been.
And so what, did you go to college?
No.
No? Did you go to high school in Houston area?
I did. I went to Stratford.
Oh, very cool.
And I hated school. So
Yeah.
I went to summer school every single year. I knew what class the first week of school I was going to take in summer school.
Oh, you just didn't like, could you tell me why you didn't like it?
I hated everything about it. You know, it's just like sitting in the class all day. Like I'd rather go cut grass or bust up concrete or do something, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm not scared to work, but the school just killed me. I literally, when I go up to school to bring my daughter lunch, I'm like, I get like that same feeling, like I hate being here, you know.
Really? Yeah, I was going to ask if you still feel that way.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have kids. You have 4?
4 kids.
And they all go to school and you support that and want them to?
3 boys, 1 girl, yeah.
Yeah, and if they didn't, you wouldn't care? You'd really...
No, Sarah had said if she doesn't play soccer in college, she's not going to college. So
cool. So she's in it for the sport. Nice.
Yep.
And so for Sarah, she is 16, 15?
15. She'll be 16 next month.
That's cool. Does she want to play pro?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the end goal. So It looks like it.
Yeah, that's cool. And now these days, like girls can know that it can be a whole career. So that's really dope.
Oh, you got to talk to her about that. So
yeah, that'd be fun. No, I'd love to. Yeah, we can go far with it, especially nowadays. So it's exciting and it's a good time for her. All right. So didn't like school.
Hated it. Not didn't like it. I hated every second of it.
Hated it.
Yes.
Did you finish high school?
I finished high school. I barely graduated. I had to go, literally, like I said, I had summer school every year. I had to take a co-op course to finish my senior year. And it just was like, when it was over, I was like, I'm done. Like, that is it.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
See, I actually love school. I like to learn and I like the environment. I like being able to, I do like to read as well and then be around people. But I don't know. I guess I was wondering, like, advice if you want to give to anyone, like, school-wise, you know, why would you compel someone to stick it out or not?
I mean, school is not for everybody, and it is for some people. But either way, like, to me, it's just if you're not going to go to school, you have to have a strong work ethic, you know.
Exactly.
And especially right now, there's so many jobs out there where you don't have to have a college education and you can just kind of work your way up. So it's a lot better.
Yeah. And I would also say, yeah, work ethic, of course, because you don't need an education to have a job. Sometimes it helps depending what you're doing, but it's not essential. And there's a lot of really successful business owners and just workers in general that didn't have a college education or even high school education. So work ethic is huge. How would you say you gained your work ethic?
I don't know. I mean, I just think maybe my dad always worked hard. My mom always worked hard. So, but I don't think that's it either. I think we all kind of turn out how we're going to turn out. I think people are, there's no like, I just think it all ends up the way it's supposed to, you know, because I got 4 kids, and 2 of them don't have the work ethic that the other 2 have. So how does that happen? Like I raised them all the same, but they're all different.
Yeah.
So I think that people just end up how they end up.
Interesting. That's interesting for me to hear because, so do you think that people are like born with work ethic or not born with it, or that you can like gain it?
Yeah, I think you can gain it. I think something has to motivate you though.
Yes.
To get that work ethic. It is what it is. Like you like school, right? So probably easy for you to go to school. Like for me, I hate it. So I'm not going to be driven. If somebody made me go to school, I'd be sitting there like the whole day just depressed.
I would say like not with school, but maybe something else. Maybe something that I don't want to do, and if I had to do it, there would come a point in time I'm so competitive, like just naturally, that I wouldn't want to fail and I'd be like, okay, well, I hate this, but I'm not going to fail at it, so I'm at least going to be good at it. And then I don't know, for me, it just flips instead of sitting there like not doing it. I don't know why that is, but for me, like I'm in the sport and performance like psychology realm, and so I'm trying to teach other athletes how to gain grit or how to have hard work or how to be motivated. And like those are hard because in class we learn like, are you born with it or are you not? Can you teach it or can you not? Like a growth mindset. Are you going to be pessimistic your whole life, or are you going to be optimistic because that's how you are?
Yeah, I don't have the answer for that.
I don't either.
I think people, like I said, I just think that people turn out how they're going to turn out. You know, because you get put in bad situations. How do people that grow up in bad situations, like without a dad or without a mom or without both parents, end up being successful?
Yeah.
So
They're motivated. I would say motivation. And yeah, it's different for everyone.
And maybe that motivated them. Maybe they, not having that, you just never know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, good point. Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Cool. I was wondering. Me too. Would you say you're Christian or Catholic or anything?
Christian, yes.
Christian. Nice. Just curious. I'm always curious to see if that's like a motivating factor for some people as well, because of course for me it is. And so in terms of like things ending up how they're going to end up, I would say, yeah, it's in God's hands. And again, I believe in karma and like the world.
Yeah, I'm a karma guy too.
Same. Look at us.
Right?
Yeah. So right when you said that, that things will end up the way they're meant to be, completely agree. But it's hard to kind of trust the process in the middle of it.
Definitely that.
Yeah. When you're in the thick of it, but it's just like resting assured that you know that things have always worked out one way or another. It's just a matter of time, or like if it's not working out the way that you want, okay, because it's not going to be the way that you want. If it is, cool. That's a coincidence, I would feel like, but just depending on a little bit of hard work as well. Okay, so let's move into gym.
Okay.
So did you fight?
I had one amateur fight.
Okay, and then in what sport?
Boxing.
Boxing.
Yes.
One amateur fight. Like what? So.
Well, my dad didn't want me to fight, so.
Why not?
Just because, and I didn't understand at the time when I was young, I wanted to fight. Mm-hmm. But and I get it now because it's just it's a very, very hard, sport to make it in. Like there's guys that I've trained that never made $5,000 in a fight, which is, so I get it. It's a hard sport to make it in. There's, it's a small percentage of guys making, even $25,000 a fight, which is, and that's why so I started training guys. I started an amateur team, and then I started training. Once I went through the amateur system, I started training pro boxers, and since then I've just been doing that, and I do private clients also.
Dang. Okay, cool. Could you help me understand the different types of, I don't even know, like, could you help me understand the different types of fighting. That's what I'm like referring to as. So, like boxing, Muay Thai, MMA. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a boxing guy. So
Okay.
I grew up in the boxing gym. I teach boxing.
Okay.
We have Muay Thai is it's like kickboxing with elbows and knees.
Okay.
Okay, and that's the most. That sport is to me is like those guys get paid nothing. They fight for free. Like it's wild. The pro guys, like they fight for a world title for like $2,000. It's crazy. I couldn't imagine doing that, but there's a love for it. So, and then you've got MMA, which is everything. It's boxing, it's grappling, it's jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. It's a little bit of everything. So you've got so many different styles in that. And then we also have jiu-jitsu. And so those are jiu-jitsu's grappling, and those are the different things. We have every one of them in our gym. So, and my partner Bob Perez, he trains a lot of UFC guys. He does the MMA, he does the Muay Thai. So it kind of works out. You know, we feed off each other. He's a very smart guy. He has a boxing background also. So when he's talking, I'm listening. When I'm talking, he's listening. So in both sports.
Yeah. So you guys work off each other. Good buddies.
Yes.
So you said you have not a crew. You guys have a group. Like, how does that work? So you guys train people, and like, is it a team? Is it a team sport technically?
No, it's not. It's individual, but we do a lot of stuff as a team. Like you've been out there. We run the stairs together. Like Tuesdays are our sprint days. Thursdays a stair day. So everything we do it together, and the guys are pushing each other when they're guys are tired. Hey, come on, push up. You know, just they feed off each other. So it's been really good, and it's worked for us.
Yeah. It's not always like that in other gyms. Sometimes it's like one person goes in, one and done. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because that's, I guess all I really know is your gym. I haven't really been other places. And that was cool because I was like, this is a little community. People are cheering each other on. Like you mentioned when I went to go run, that was hard. And I'm like, oh, you know, I was like, this is going to be easy. I'm a soccer player, endurance. No, that was not easy. But I did feel a little bit of pride passing some of them out.
There was some, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's some slaggers. I mean, sometimes it's just certain days, you know, like we all don't feel good every day.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
But yeah, and then there's other guys that I have that are more like Oshaki Foster. He's a WBC world champion, 130 pounds. He kind of likes to be by himself. He wants his own time, which is fine. So that's, to me, as part of coaching, is figuring out what these guys need and how to talk to them. And he kind of doesn't want a bunch of people around, you know. He doesn't need a bunch of people around.
Yeah.
So
whatever works best for them.
Yes.
That's cool. And so how long have you been coaching for? How many years would you say?
Man, so I started coaching when I was 18. So now I'm 46. It's been a long time. It
was your birthday recently.
April, yeah.
Nice. Wow. So you are a full-time coach and co-owner of the gym. Do you own someone else?
Yeah, Bob Perez, he's a co-owner with me.
Okay, cool. What else do you do? You're a father?
I'm a dad.
And
I play basketball. I cut the grass, clean the house. I keep myself busy. So.
How old are your kids?
29.
Damn.
21.
Sorry.
29, 21, 19, and Sarah is 15, about to be 16.
Wow, very cool.
So I'm almost done. I'm ready for it to be just me and Kim.
Chill, yeah. Wow, cool. And then you have one daughter and 3 boys.
Yes.
Very nice. How has that been being a father? Like what? I'm sure it taught you so much. But
of course, it's there's good times and bad things with everything, you know. So. I've had some really, really tough times with one of my sons. But like I said, he went a different way, and it's like I don't speak to him, and it's fine. He chose that, you know. I didn't choose it for him. I didn't raise him like that. So that's the tough times. But I still love him, but I won't speak to him right now.
Thank you for sharing that. I was gonna ask. Well, because Father's Day is coming up. I think that's why it was forefront of my mind. I think if Dad's listening, I'm having my dad on my podcast. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. But if he's not listening, then you're going to miss your invitation. In terms of, okay, so gym, if people want to take a class, how do they do that? And is it open to the public? Is
Yes.
it a membership based? What's it like?
Yeah, we do everything. So we have like an unlimited package where you can come take all the classes, and then we have different packages for different things. Like we have a cardio boxing class. We call it Fight Fit. It's a fast paced class. It's there's some technique. We want everybody to look like they know how to fight. That's the goal. But it's not so technical to where you've done an hour and not really done anything. They're burning calories. And then we also have like an amateur program. And we have several people like white collar workers that come in and take the amateur program because they want to learn the fundamentals of it. And we also have, those just, and we do private lessons. We do, there's a master's boxing division. I train several guys that still compete. It's anything over 40, and they have tournaments. We've had a couple at the gym. We have one in October. I've got a 76-year-old guy that still competes. He's a beast. His name's Rick Bobigan. He's an oil and gas guy.
Cool.
But he's like, that's a fun part for me because like he's so driven and he wants to win every fight. He's competitive, so it's been fun.
Dang, I love that.
Yeah.
I've been saying that I've been wanting to take a class. Like people that have come to yoga or anyone that knows that I do the teaching there, they've wanted to join. So I'm trying to get a group together. I know Taylor, my producer, even wants to also. So I'll have to get with you to like schedule something.
Anytime.
Because I remember taking some classes and like my arms. I got noodle arms, and I'm trying to not have that. Also, as a woman, like I'd like to be able to fight and protect myself.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do you guys offer any type of like self-defense classes or something?
The jiu-jitsu stuff is more, they do a lot of that, the self-defense classes and stuff. But
okay, cool.
But boxing, definitely, we teach. There's girls down there, just like that, white collar girls that come in, and it's like they can fight. Like you watch them throw shots, and they punch hard, and it's cool to see.
Yeah. All right, I'm excited. Something to look forward to. Could you tell us a little bit about like the preparation behind a fight? Because to my understanding, fights are only a couple minutes, right?
They're longer than a couple of minutes. A boxing match, so a world title fight's 12 3-minute rounds.
Oh, okay.
So it's a long time.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Maybe I just watch it 3
a couple
minutes.
minutes.
Okay, right. So that's a long time.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that is so much endurance. So that makes more sense why you guys are constantly running. Because in my mind, when I first saw people run, I'm like, why are y'all running? Like, what does the training look like? Could you walk us through like a preparation to a big fight?
Yeah. Yeah, we usually start camp. It's usually about 8 weeks.
Okay.
Before a fight, and then this is at the top level. Obviously, when guys are first starting out, those guys, like, they're fighting 4 rounds. You start out 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So the process of it is when you're fighting 4 rounds, they got to stay ready all the time. So there's no downtime for them. Mm-hmm. Once you get to the world title level, it takes a little bit more in your body. So time off is good for fighters. Mm-hmm. But as we start, so it's 8 weeks. We'll start out 8 weeks. First 2 weeks, I like to start out guys and just work their feet, work on their balance, work on their fundamentals. And then after that, 6 weeks, we'll start sparring 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then training bags, pads, defensive drills, all through camp. So it's 5 weeks of that. And then the last week, tapering down and making weight. And then the week of the fight, we're cutting weight, hit the weight, and then it's fight night.
So this weight thing is foreign to me. So you have to meet a certain weight class.
Yes.
And how do you do that?
Well, their diet and training and
yeah.
And then, their.
Do you watch their diet, or is that like up to them?
Some of them I do. A lot of guys, like, I'm not super strict on their diet because I've seen guys get really strict on their diet and they don't perform well. Mm-hmm. I feel like some of these guys need something to burn. That they're at the gym. I just think about they're burning probably 4,000 calories a day, maybe more.
Damn.
Because we're working out 3 times a day. Yeah, they're doing a run. They're coming to the gym 2.5, 3 hours, and then do some strength and conditioning. So it's a lot. It's a lot on your body.
Yeah. So that type of training is like for the top level. That's essentially their full-time job.
Right.
Right. They don't do anything else.
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm like, how are you? I'm trying to think, like 3 days? Okay. Wow. Do you guys have a nutritionist at your gym? You ever like thought about that?
We've got several guys that use different nutritionists. But Chris does a lot with the diet. He does the strength and conditioning for some of my guys. So we can always refer to him.
Cool. So you guys have coaches, nutritionists, strength and conditioning. Got it all.
Everything.
Got it all. Cool. Dang. Another thing I'm really curious about is the mindset of a fighter. Because why would you want to get hit for a living or hit for a living? Like, I don't know. That's the way that I'm looking at it from, I don't know. For me, I'm like really empathetic, and it like physically hurts me to watch fights sometimes. Like I feel it on my body. I'm like, fuck, you know, like I just, like my neck hurts. Like I can't watch it. It's gruesome. Like that, it's painful to me. I feel like if watching it over and over, I could probably get over it, but it's painful. And so for me, one, it's like, why? It's a why. Like, why do you think? Like, why did you?
It's like any sport. Think about it. Why'd you play soccer? You enjoyed it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so boxing is a sport.
Yeah.
And it's not called fighting; it's called boxing. So it's it's part of it, and we're all wired different. We some guys like to be hit, some guys don't. And it's the mindset of it though is you have to have fight in you to be a boxer.
What does that mean to have fight in you? Like pride, like ego, you gotta want it. What is it? I
don't so much pride. It's just a different, I don't know how to explain it. You've got to have, like, when you get hit, some people, they get hit and they're like, man, what'd I do? Oh my gosh, but then you see some people, even at a kid, they get hit and they fire right back, like you just see it, like that fight's in them. Some people know, so they turn, they cry, they walk away, and it's fine. There's no judging anybody. That's who you are. Like you're like, I'm not. That's kind of how we figure out life. Like I'm not doing that because I don't want to get hit again. You know? Mm-hmm. So I think that's part of it.
Okay. Oh, I'm just so curious because like when you're in there, there's no escaping. You got to finish it, and how do you bounce back from when you know you're losing?
That's a tough one. Those hurt. Losses. If you are, it's just like you playing soccer. You remember those tough losses when you could have won, or you felt like you could have done something different. But that's part of the process, is learning how to get through it. That's. I've been in fights where, like, man, we're getting stomped. It's bad. I've been every single situation I've been through, and you just try to take from what you learned, why you lost, or and sometimes it was my fault. I made mistakes. I'm not perfect. But I've learned from that, and now I can kind of I can pick up stuff a lot quicker than I used to. So
yeah. I've always heard you learn more from defeat than you do from winning, which is very true.
Definitely.
Yeah. Also, another thing, this is just like not random, but it's relative, is that when people are getting hit, like, doesn't that obviously affect your cognitive ability? Like, don't you kind of snap out of it? You lose your focus?
Well, that's why you train, though.
Okay. You train for those moments.
Absolutely. It becomes an instinct, That's the whole, drilling over and over and over and over again. To where you just don't have to think about it. As soon as you get hit, okay, my hands got to get up. Why'd I get hit? Or I got to move my head, or I have to move my feet. Something has to happen to where you make that adjustment.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. Yeah, it's like high pressure situation training. Like you're training for what's going to happen in that sense.
Yeah.
Dang, okay. I always thought about that. I'm like, did you just get, I don't know, aren't you seeing stars? How are you still in
Definitely.
it?
Sometimes you are, but you're prepared for that. Hopefully you've been through those situations in the gym where you know how to react, We had a girl that fought this combat league we're doing, and she got headbutted, and she immediately she saw stars, and she was like, oh my God, she thought she got hit. And so, but she fought through it. And she's like, after the fight, she was like, I was like, you got headbutted. And she was like, I did? She goes, I thought she landed a hook on me. She goes, I thought, but in her mind, but she got through it. She fought through it,
Gotcha.
So that's part of the process.
Yeah, like she was trained for that, and so she
Yes.
assumed that she got hit, which essentially she kind of did. But headbutted, how the hell does that happen? Like,
A lot. I mean, you're coming together. Two.
Is that legal?
No, you're not supposed to headbutt, and it's some of it's unintentional. There's a lot of it that's intentional, but
okay,
it's you guys are moving around the ring, and one guy's pulling away, and then he steps in. Y'all come together hard. It just happens. Bang knees, all kind of stuff happens.
and so how do you like? If I were to watch, I don't think I could be able to tell who's winning. Like, how do you get points or?
It's supposed to be there's effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, punches landed, and defensive skills. So there's a lot going on, and a lot of times it's what the judge wants to see. We got no control over what they're looking at or how they're looking at it.
Really, it's dependent on the judge.
Yeah,
at times, like they have a heavy influence. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, so interesting. I need to go and watch and learn more.
Anytime.
Dang. So summer, it is hot as hell in Houston. That gym, hot as hell in Houston.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that training in a gym like that is puts your athletes at a higher advantage?
I think so.
Yeah.
It
As
definitely,
opposed to like,
you have to go. I mean, I got the regular guy that walks in there just goes up there and sits down during the summer. They're like, this is crazy. What are y'all are working out? Like, I'm just sitting here, I'm soaking wet. Like, so, but I think mentally, the mental part of it, if you can get through that,
Yep.
and then you're fighting in an air conditioned building.
Yep. Mental resiliency.
Yeah.
You're already equipped.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I think it's so important to train in environments where it's going to be even more difficult than what you're going to go through. So once you get there, it's easy.
Uncomfortable.
Yes, yeah. Small analogy, but I'll train some kids and I'll help them with their touch. And you give them like a ball that's super bouncy and they like smaller too. And so they're like, this is so hard. But when you get a real ball, it's going to be like a piece of cake. Or if you're training on a bad field and it's all bumpy and then you have to try to control it and then you're on a nice clean grass, like, oh, would you look at that? Your touch is impeccable.
Smooths it out.
Yeah. What's in Dubai? I've always been curious. You guys go to Dubai a little bit.
I've been a few times. Dubai is awesome. It's first of all, there's no crime over there.
Okay.
So you're literally like, first time we went over there, we stayed in the hotel had a mall attached to it, which is it's crazy how they got like 50 malls over there, and it's
I've
a small
never been.
area. It makes no sense. So in the morning, I would go get my coffee. I'd go into the mall, and a lot of the stores don't even have doors on them. They're just open. People don't steal.
Oh,
There's
okay.
they don't.
Oh, wow.
They don't. You don't mess around there. Me and my other coach Aaron, he's him and I go walk a lot, so we're walking 3 o'clock in the morning over there. Never once did I feel like in danger, But Dubai is cool. It's they got a lot of money over there. It's a small area, but it's beautiful.
But do you guys go for
Boxing.
Fights.
We were over there for boxing. Yes.
Okay. Are you going again soon?
I don't have anything scheduled over there.
Nice.
I'd like to. Yeah.
Cool. And then how do people get, do people get invited to fights or is it like based on your performance before and you get into a pool?
No, there's a process. You have promoters and managers that help them get to that spot, So it's you start out in the beginning, you may have a manager helping you out and you're hoping to get signed by a promoter, because then you take pressure off the manager. The promoter's paying for the fights. And then if there's a promoter over there, like for the few times we went to Dubai, Austin Trout, which he's taking the yoga class with us, he's a former world champion. He fought over there. That was the first time I went. And then the next few times I went, Regis Prograis was a world champion, and then Oshaki Foster also fought over there in Dubai. So those are big fights. They brought us over there.
Cool.
And they're doing a lot of big stuff over there right now.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. And then I only have like a few more questions. One is I see, it appears that there's like a lot of world champions. How does that happen?
Well, it's because there's four world titles in each division. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why.
Gotcha.
But and a lot of people, the regular person is always like, oh, well, there should be one world champion. Well, we know who the top guy is, and most of the occasions, but you get, to me, there's more opportunities for fighters. So guys can win the different world titles, and then that's when you start making real money. If you're getting opportunities to fight for the other world titles, you can unify. And I don't know. A lot of people say, "Oh, it confuses everybody." But if you're in boxing, you understand how it works. And the more belts they have, and working your way through the rankings is good for boxing to me. Like, because how can this kid get seen if there's one champion and he's here, and if it just allows, it's so hard for that kid to get there, But if there's four different belts, now he's got an opportunity. He fights for the interim or one of the smaller belts that gets you rated in that in the organization. So it's just, to me, the more, not the more, this shouldn't be crazy, but the process of it is getting these guys to that world title and then trying to unify.
All right, very cool. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, because I've seen, like, I guess the titles are in people's bios and whatnot, and like.
And also too, there's more money when they unify. There's a lot more money. So like in the UFC, there's one belt. You're but they control everything, and the guys in the UFC have never ever made the kind of money like Pacquiao or De La Hoya or Mike Tyson or Tyson Fury and Anthony Josh. Those guys are making $100 million
in one fight.
Yeah.
God.
So it's great. You build the fighter, and the UFC is like, they just got complete control, which is fine. It's, you're doing, when you're in the UFC, that's what you're trying to get. You're trying to get to where you can make that $1 million or that $2 million. But in boxing, if you become, a legend, you got a chance to make, lotto money every time you fight.
Right. Okay. This is going to be maybe a funny question or silly, but what if this is their profession? What say in like real life, someone gets into a fight at a bar, aren't people who fight like not allowed to do that?
Yeah, your hands are considered lethal weapons, but you have the right to defend yourself.
Right.
So you can't start a fight, but you can always defend yourself.
And who does it apply to? Professional fighters?
Yes, professional MMA, boxing, any professional fighters. Yes.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was like in high school. Some dude told me that. Okay.
No, it's true. It's true. Your hands are, but it doesn't matter because most of those guys, all the guys that I got, they're not starting fights. Mm-hmm. But now, if you test them, they're men or girls too. They're killers. So
yeah,
if you're gonna challenge them, they're not just gonna let you take advantage of them.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, I'm good. Well, I'm super honored to be able to teach them. Like, I think that it's very cool, and I'm happy I can help in some way or another.
No, I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I saw you got your thing. I was like, oh, perfect. So it worked out.
I'm honored and thankful.
And now you're going to see, it's about to start getting hot in there.
Ooh.
We're going to have hot yoga.
Fine for me. That's what I practice every week anyway.
Okay.
I love it. But yeah, that's another thing, like the mental resiliency. Like, people are so uncomfortable being hot. And it's true, like, you're in your head, like, oh, I can't breathe. Like, okay, try to control your breath. Try to focus. Try to listen to what the instructor is saying while moving, while being really pissed off sometimes at yourself or just uncomfortable with where you are.
Or getting hit in the head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I think this is a good spot to end, but the floor is yours if you have any sort of advice for your athletes. If you have any advice to anyone.
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Boo. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I got
one.
Yeah, here we go.
Keep it simple.
For
me, that's what's worked. When I was younger, I go through the process of, I'll just use an example, like watching fights. So I'd sit and watch a fight and try to break down every mistake the guy made. If we're fighting a certain guy, I'd watch the tape and I'd try to break down literally every single thing. Mm-hmm. And it never worked because I had my guy thinking too much. So now I go through, I see one thing, two things that he consistently does wrong, and I try to capitalize on that. So simple is better than complicating it.
Yeah. I love that. My dad says the same thing. Even in soccer, he's like, just keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Just do, don't think. Cool. Good advice. And thank you. No, I appreciate that a lot. And if anyone wants to connect with Bobby, I'm going to link your information. And if you want to check out Main Street Boxing and Muay Thai, take a class with us.
Come on down.
Yeah, it'll happen. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this show airs on Thursday. So happy Thursday, everyone.